So apparently, there's aliens now. Got quite a few spaceships, maybe a couple dead bodies. Who knows what else? But
the UAP task force has refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do,
hey, wait, excuse me, come again? Hold on. Back up there. We have a what?
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone,
So are we supposed to believe this guy? I have no idea. I wish I knew the answer. I legitimately wish I knew the answer to this. I'd like to know so badly. I'm not even I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist. Maybe I am, I have no idea. You guys will absolutely have to tell me if I'm a conspiracy theorist because I really don't know if I qualify. I wouldn't really be upset about that though. Anyway, David Grusch, been waiting. Just something's going to come up, right? That's just going to completely discredit this guy. That's what I would assume normally happens. So I waited. And I was just certain. I was absolutely certain. Someone was going to come tell us all that he casually, went to the doctor a few times and was treated for schizophrenia, something like that. Maybe don't lead with that, since you are the one all alone in the basement talking to yourself. Or even worse, he was getting ready to publish a book. If there's one single thing that people can use to be absolutely metaphysically 100% certain that you are full of shit, it's if you're about ready to publish a book. Just saying, write a book, whatever, make books, things, reading material, if you will. But I'm not seeing anything. I did a deep dive, a search for it, kind of kept my eyes open. Where is it? Deliver me the inevitable reason for why I should not believe this person. And I've got virtually nothing. I'm a very curious person. You cannot do this kind of stuff to curious people because then they become obsessive people. All right, so first up, we got John Greenwald. And honestly, I like this guy. He seems like a legit dude. He does the freedom of information request thing a lot. He puts in freedom of information requests, gets lots of documents, shares documents with people, does a little analysis. It's great. It's great stuff. But he recently expressed a bit of skepticism in regards to Mr. Grusch.
Here is the deepest part of my skepticism about Grusch's claims. This has bothered me since day one, so I'm going to explore it a little deeper with you. I had brought up the guide briefly, but also the DOPSR approval. And DOPSR's job is to ensure that nothing that they talk about, no claim that they make, no program that they talk about, no anything, encroaches into classified territory.
All right, so basically, all you need to know here is DOPSR, they're very tunnel vision, right? They got singular focus. Thou shalt not disclose classified information on national television. It's that simple. That's really all you got to need to know about them.
That's what they are there for. The question should be, why did he get the clearance?
A just question, my liege.
If this stuff is completely highly classified at the most top secret level, entrenched into special access programs and so on and so forth, it should have never passed DOPSR.
So legitimately, it seems like a good question, right? You'd imagine they would get back to him and just be like, no alien spaceships on the news, Mr. Grusch, no alien spaceships on the news. But they didn't do this, did they? Because he talked about alien spaceships on the news.
I have long used the stealth fighter example just to kind of make it easy. Back in the day when the stealth fighter was never known to the general public and the F-117 was in development and even flying for however many years that it was, you could not give broad stroke details about an aircraft flying in the sky that was essentially describing the F-117. And it's because the details about a classified program or classified piece of technology, the facts surrounding whatever we are talking about are classified in themselves, meaning it's inherently classified, meaning you can't go around describing stealth technology before it was acknowledged. And just because you didn't give the program name it was involved in or the blueprint and chemical composition of how it was made, that doesn't mean you can still talk about it.
This is the exact point where, like, you start to lose me a little bit. There's one main difference between the example he's giving and the one with Mr. Grusch. Do you guys know? You know what it is? The main difference to me between, like, you know, the government creating a secret fighter jet and harboring alien spacecraft under some kind of, you know, special access black budget program is that one is perfectly normal, you know, accepted, and the other one is just, to my understanding, rather illegal. Am I wrong about that? It's probably not hiding alien spaceships is illegal. It's probably operating without government oversight is illegal. The point is, operating without government oversight, that seems like it'd make them angry, and I think that's probably why it's legal, right? They like to be in charge of everything. That's why they're the government, you know? Like, if you get all the way up there and you're in charge of a bunch of stuff, and then people aren't, like, acting like you're in charge, it makes sense that they would get angry. So I stopped and I asked myself, like, okay, all right, how would this all play out? Like, actually? Hello, this is Rusty over at the super secret military base. How may I help you today? Hey there, Rusty. This is Chad down over at Dopser. We got another one of these whistleblower situations going on. Oh? Yeah, we got a gentleman over here who's making all sorts of claims about aliens, alien spaceships, UFOs, UAPs, government conspiracies, the whole kit and caboodle. You don't say? Yeah, he's getting ready to go over to Congress and, you know, go full-blown tattletale. I just gotta make sure that if he decides to go to the news, he's not spouting out any top-secret classified information or anything like that. Yeah, that's very classified, like the most classified, actually. We definitely do not need anybody going to the news shouting about aliens and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely not. No, we cannot allow that. Okay. Let me go ahead and make a note of that on the file here. Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and get your full name, title, and employee ID number. Congress is going to have a couple questions for you. They're going to want to know why we got classified information on aliens and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I actually misspoke. I accidentally filed my Star Trek encyclopedia in the classified drawer again. I got no idea what you're talking about. We didn't know anything about aliens or spaceships or anything like that. That's a perfectly honest mistake. It happens to the best of us. Yeah. Let him go ahead and talk to the news. We don't know anything about that over here. All right. Well, I will certainly let them know. You have a nice day now. All right. You take care now. Have a nice day. Let's imagine that I'm the person harboring secret alien spaceships. Let's say I got a garage full of them, right? And I don't want anyone to know about it. I imagine if I had spaceships, I too would be very attached to them, especially of the alien variety. They're not taking those spaceships away from me. They're mine, my spaceships. And then I get the phone call, like, you got some guy who wants to go on national television and be like, we got them aliens, spaceships, all of it. We got it all in a bunker somewhere. I heard about it. Someone told me. If I'm the guy and I got the spaceships, I'm like, nope, we don't know what you're talking about. Go on the news if you want to. No one's going to believe you. It's almost like they might have had people doing this stuff in the past, you know, other people claiming that they're alien spaceships or something like that.
You know, anyone who listens to the Joe Rogan podcast knows that Bob Lazar, for years now, has been saying the exact same thing. Guys, everyone's homework is to listen to all of Bob Lazar's interviews. You will become a believer like me. And when they do land, I will say, I told you so.
Man, everybody just simply loves Bob Lazar. Ain't no question about it. You know, something tells me someone did not watch Joe Rogan's interview with Bob Lazar. Call me crazy. I was just really hoping we might be able to listen to our really good friend, Mr. Stephen Greenstreet, next. All right, so full disclosure. I do not like this guy. I do not like him one bit. I see that this guy puts out a video and I think to myself, like, no, let's just give him a chance.
So the quick version of this story is that an ex-military guy has come forward and spilled the beans about the government secretly hiding crashed UFOs and alien bodies. This person's name is David Grusch.
We're 6 seconds into this video. You're about to jump on camera to scrutinize someone or debunk them or whatever it is that you think that you do. But apparently you are incapable of pronouncing his last name, which is 6 letters. Like, did you even bother to watch the interview? You know, I kind of like it. Has certain ring to it. The Grusch man. The Gruschster. Cock-a-doodle-doo, motherfucker. We're 6 seconds in. Deep breath, like, let's push forward.
But here are a few red flags with this story. Number 1, no evidence has been presented at all. Normally, this would be the beginning and the end of this video.
Like, maybe he doesn't know what a top secret classified document is, right? The stuff that says top secret classified on the top of it. Then if you take that document and you bring it to the news and then you show it on the internet, like, you get in a lot of trouble. You wind up living in Russia over there with Mr. Snowden. Like, I guess he just doesn't know about that stuff. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Another red flag. Before Mr. Grusch went to the media with this story, he had to clear with the Department of Defense what he could and couldn't say, because he did work in sensitive offices in the military. Things that are top secret, you can't just go out and tell everyone about.
Never mind. He clearly knows about top secret classified documents. You are like a disgusting little perpetually damp rat cryptid with a brain that's as small and smooth as a grape. Just calm down. It'll be okay. Listen, little Stevie, he's been a little bit naughty, but don't you worry. I'm going to take good care of him, all right?
Another red flag was when I personally called David Grusch for comment, to get his input, to ask him questions about all of this stuff. And here's how the phone call went. Hello? Hi, is this David Grusch? Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to? This is Stephen Greenstreet with the New York Click. He hung up on me.
You serious?
For those of you that don't know, this seems to be just like a persistent problem that he continuously has when he calls people. No one's willing to talk to you for some reason. It must be because you're such a fantastic journalist. There's one thing I'm dying to know. Like, if you got a phone call and you picked it up and you're like, hello, and you heard like, why, yes, this is Stephen Greenstreet. Would you hang up? I would also immediately hang it up. I don't really think that constitutes as a red flag. Personally,
Another red flag is the sources for all of this. It's the same names that have been involved with this UFO story for years. The authors of the original story are Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Kean.
Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Kean? You couldn't mean no. Actual credible journalists?
And this Kean actually went on a Showtime documentary and admitted that she had a specific goal and agenda with that New York Times article, and that was to get people to believe in UFOs.
The angle that I was taking in my reporting was to try to get credibility for the subject.
Let's imagine for just a minute, that I wanted to do a journalistic piece on manatees. Let's use manatees, right? Like, I'm very concerned that manatees are endangered. I think they're awesome. I want to publish an article about how we can help protect the manatees. Would it not be safe to assume that one of my goals in writing this piece would be to raise awareness and add credibility to the claims I'm making about manatees being endangered, and then trying to bring this issue forward so that we all as a group could collectively find different ways to protect the manatees? I guess that's an agenda.
Through my own research, I've learned that other news outlets had this story, were presented with this story, did not publish the story. Ralph Blumenthal, in a tweet, for example, says the Washington Post had this story, but they wanted to take some time, he says. They needed more time. Washington Post needed more time for what? Could it be for fact-checking, background checks, intense vetting, more fact-checking, and so on?
And do you even know what those words mean? I remain unconvinced. As a matter of fact, if you actually watch the full interview with David Grusch, I feel like they very clearly explain, like, hey, some people were harassing him. I mean, whether or not they were, I have no idea. But he claimed, people are harassing me. I would like to get this aired quickly. I would like to get this out in the open. Again, and even if you don't accept that, the explanation is still there.
Anyway, they couldn't wait, so they just published it in the debrief.
The New York Post, your source for breaking news, photos, and videos about New York sports, business, entertainment, opinion, real estate, culture, fashion, and more. Like, how does this guy have a job? If I'm going to be completely honest, the fact that the New York Post employs him makes me trust them substantially less than something like the debrief. But to sum it all up, here's what I'm trying to get at in going through all of this stuff. Personally, I have no idea whether or not this stuff is true. No idea. And whether or not I believe it, whether or not I think that it is actually true, is irrelevant, right? Whether or not you believe it is irrelevant. Like, what actually matters, at least the way that I see it, is the fact of whether or not it's actually true. To me, the important thing is that we get to the truth. Like, I would like very much to know if this guy is full of shit. And I guess what I'm trying to say, like, in talking through all this stuff is, it's good. Skepticism is good. Like, I'm skeptical about a lot of things. Like, even in this realm of, like, aliens and stuff, I feel like most logically minded people would be a little bit skeptical about it, right? And that's super healthy. Like, if everybody had the same burden of proof, to prove that extraterrestrials are visiting our planet, I mean, we would have a whole completely different problem on our hands. I guess what I'm trying to suggest is that instead of using skepticism to, like, go to your audience and convince, a fraction or maybe even a majority of them that, this is nothing. I mean, he's talking about spaceships on the news. Like, he wouldn't be allowed to do that if we actually had him. It wouldn't surprise me if, like, a totally rational person heard that and was like, oh, nope, case closed. It's nothing. But I feel like I speak for everybody when I'm saying this. And please tell me if I'm not. I feel like anybody who actually watched this stuff and heard all the things that this guy was saying, how can you not be curious? Instead of using skepticism to get people to think like, there's nothing to see here, why not use that skepticism to actually get to the bottom of it? And if that's the kind of journey that you want to take, a journey to the truth, figure out what the hell is actually going on with all this stuff, then you're in the right place. Let's fucking go. Hey, wait. Before you go, I completely forgot the YouTube thing. Smack all the buttons, do all the stuff down there. Y'all know the drill. I don't need to tell you what to do. Just see you next time.